Hi everybody, this is Boog Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Patina Edition Wonder Woman figure. So before we take a look at Wonder Woman, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with her base. I love the marbleization that's going on this base. I love how that bluish green color is mixed in with the plastic. That looks pretty good. But I don't really use it because she stands pretty well on her own. Up next, she comes with her card and card stand, and honestly I couldn't care less about this card stand. I would have preferred some alternate hands or her lasso of truth in place of this. It is what it is though. So there you get a shot of, I'm going to assume that's the digital render of Wonder Woman. You can see that the paint on the digital render and the finished product is quite different. I definitely wish they would have painted the eyes like this on the figure itself. But there is the back, if you want to read that. I got number 1139 of 5250. Up next, she comes with her shield, and this looks really good. I love the bluish green color that's painted on there. I believe it's actually painted on this one, but it got down in all the cracks with the texturing there, and it brings the detailing out very nicely. I think that looks really, really good. The strap, just like on the original Wonder Woman, doesn't quite stay on the way it should because the straps are just way too big, but it still looks good nonetheless. Up next, she comes with her sword, and there's actually a lot of paint on this. I definitely wish they would have matched it up to Wonder Woman herself or the shield a little more. I believe all of her weapons are actually cast in this color right here, and it has that kind of bronze color painted over top of it, and then a little bit of that bluish green as well. There's so much paint on this that the sword is actually textured, because I don't actually remember the sword being textured. I think that's just how much paint they actually put on there. And finally, she comes with her axe. And this is still detailed really nicely. I love the detailing on the blade there, as well as all of the sculpted details on the handle. I feel like they matched the collar up on the axe a little bit more to her than on the sword, but you still don't get very much of that bluish green color. You get a little bit up here and that's it. So it would have been cool if they would have matched that up just a little bit better to Wonder Woman herself, but it still doesn't look bad. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at this head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, with it being cast in the patina colors, I think it shows how awesome the sculpt is. You know, the raw sculpt is really brought out by the color scheme that this is done in. And it still looks really good. I don't know if I noticed on the regular version that the eyebrows were actually sculpted on. So they're actually sculpted and painted on the regular version. I definitely wish the eyes on this would have been painted similar to on the data file. I think some paint on the eyes would have looked really good. I still think this looks pretty good nonetheless. One thing that I didn't notice is there's paint variation over this whole figure. So in some spots you can actually see the base color showing through, and they actually painted this, at least on the head sculpt, they painted this really light gold color over top of it, and it brings the detailing out, especially here on the hair, very nicely. And then you also get some additional paint on the hair here of that bluish green color. I like how it fades from that gold into the darker color and then into the bluish green there. I think that looks really good. On the rest of the figure, I'm pretty sure that bluish green is actually mixed in the plastic, because if you look closely, you can see that the whole figure is marbleized. So I think it's done in marbleized gold with some of that bluish green mixed in with it, and then the whole figure has this light gold paint over top of it. This is my first McFarlane Patina figure in this color scheme, and I'm really happy with it. The colors on this just really pop in hand. It looks way better than I thought it would. You can see there's bluish green flecks right there on the side, as well as on the arms right here. That looks really good. If you look at the legs, here is really where you can see the marbleization going on there, like the swirls in the plastic. And that looks really good. The one thing I don't like is when you bend the knee, you can actually see a lot of that base color showing through, where they didn't paint that light gold color. So it would have been cool if they would have painted that, because anytime you pose this figure around, you are going to see a lot of that base color showing through there. You get the crazy textures on the boots, I like how you get that bluish green mixed in right there. It almost looks like some variation over top of the textures there. That looks really good. So yeah, now that I have this in hand, I'm surprised at how much I like it. It looks really good. I know this figure has kind of divided the McFarlane DC Multiverse collector community, because on one hand, McFarlane Toys finally re-released Wonder Woman like people had been asking, just not in the color they wanted. You know, a lot of people wanted a re-release of this figure, but they wanted her in regular colors. So I can see a bunch of customizers buying this to turn into a regular Wonder Woman. But honestly, even if you have the regular Wonder Woman figures, then I would still recommend picking this one up, just because it looks really good in hand. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. So she has a ball-jointed head that can look up very slightly. She can look down all the way. She can move her head side to side very nicely. Don't really get very much around movement. She has shoulders that can move out all the way and spin all the way around. Now these joints actually feel pretty tight on this version. On the regular Wonder Woman and the Platinum Wonder Woman, these butterfly joints right here were extremely loose. It's probably because of the way they painted it. It made the joint fit a little tighter. So I'm actually happy that these just don't flop all willy-nilly. She has a swivel at the bicep. It's kind of tricky to move, but once you get it moving, you can move it all the way around. She has double jointed elbows that can bend in all the way, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. She has a ball jointed waist that can move back all the way. Can't really move forward at all. Does move side to side and around very nicely. She has hips that can do a complete split. She can kick forward very, very far. Back very, very far. Really nice thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can move back all the way. Ankles that can move down all the way. Up all the way. Spin all the way around. And toe articulation that can move up that far. So for the only size comparisons, here she is next to the regular collector edition version of herself and the Platinum there on the right. And man, it's crazy how much both of these figures have soared in value. I don't think these are actually the most valuable McFarlane DC Multiverse figures, but they are up there. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because I really like it. Like I said, the colors really pop in hand, and it's a lot better than I thought it would be. I think this is actually sold out everywhere at the moment. This was a shared exclusive between the McFarlane Toy Store and Walmart. And Walmart was a bit of a fiasco. I think when it finally went up, it sold out in no time. I don't think that this is going to reach the value that the other Wonder Woman figures I showed off did, but I do think this will definitely be the hardest to find Patina figure. So even if you have the regular Wonder Woman figures like I do, then I would still recommend picking it up because I do think she's a pretty cool figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.